got something for you.
Hello and welcome to a Roto Slappers special edition. Ooh, it is Friday night. We're gonna do a little fantasy football mock draft, redraft style. So let's have a little fun tonight. Well, most of you probably won't be watching this on Friday night, but however, when you do watch this, enjoy it because we're getting close. What did I read? 97 days away from the actual NFL season, which means we are probably about a month and a half away from redraft season amping up and starting to go hog wild. So here at the Bloodline Entertainment Network, we are going to try to make sure that we cover everything that you need for fantasy football this season and help you win your league. And when we're talking about fantasy football, you know that I'm not alone. So let's bring him in.
Banger after banger after banger after banger.
You know who it is. Tim King. What's up, buddy? You're on mute. He hasn't caught onto it yet. You're on mute.
Yeah,
there you go. All right.
Just caught on to it. I'm used to just that auto muting, man. A couple of amateur moves tonight, dude. Yo, what is going on, baby? Thanks for having me back, dude.
Yeah, we're having some fun. So who cares? That's what this tonight's all about. We're gonna kick off redraft season with a little mock draft. Not a full mock draft. Don't worry. You're not going to sit here through a full mock draft. We're going to try to get through 2 rounds if we can, if we pace it quick enough. That's the goal here, and that's what we're going to do. So,
Streetz, is this the one that's going to continue as we go? Are we just going to keep going off of this one, or are we going to start a new set?
Yeah, I don't know. We could do both. We could do. We're going to end up doing a million of these. So, however you want to do it, we could do it. So we can.
Cool. You know what else I want to do? You know what else I want to do? You know what else TK does? TK plugs the fuck out of this very network, all right? So if you are watching Roto Slappers, when you watch Roto, look at this man. Look at this man. The face that runs the fantasy space. Look at him. Just look at him, all right? Everything he does is spectacular. Right here on Roto Slappers. You can find him on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. So like this video, please, and subscribe. So every single time the face that runs the fantasy space goes live, you can see it. And hey, when you type in the Bloodline Entertainment Network into that little Google search bar, you can also listen to that beautiful, soothing voice that he has. So you can watch him right here on YouTube. You can listen to him right here on Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Music, and so many other outlets. And when you search the Bloodline Entertainment Network on that Google search bar, guess what else comes up? BloodlineNetwork.com. And what is on BloodlineNetwork.com? Not just sports, not just wrestling, not just entertainment, not videos, not just audio, but everything the face that runs the fantasy space does. All of his redraft rankings. He's going to have dynasty rankings, his fantasy baseball rankings. This man right here, just going to put him over really quick. Everywhere. Bloodline Entertainment Network, everything he does is there. Get at him. Streetz is the motherfucking man.
You're going to make me blush tonight.
Gotta do what I got to do, bro. Got to do what I got to do. You're the man. I'm going to raise my glass to you, man. You're the content you put out. Listen, I'm here to have fun. I'll give you good advice, sure. But this man right here, go to the website. Just look at his rankings. So much content. So check out. And back to you, my friend.
No, you're good. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And without you, the content doesn't get seen. So thank you in return. Because you bust your tail on that website. So I greatly appreciate it. I just get to share a link.
Hey, man, you write it. You do you, man. You're the best, dude. Appreciate it. But enough about this love fest. Let's fucking draft some football.
So here's how we're going to do this one. This is why we'll kick this off. This will not be super flex. So this is going to be 1 QB, standard, basic, that PPR is the standard. I have to be careful when I say that because some people think standard and they think non-PPR. But no, PPR, 12-team, 1 QB. So basically 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, flex tight end. I'm not ranking kickers.
As it's standard redraft as it gets. And that's funny how you said standard. I was laughing because it is standard. If you're not playing PPR now, I don't know Like 8 years ago, I was having a hard time switching to PPR. That was 8 years ago. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's all about PPR. Chicks dig the long ball.
Yeet.
We like points.
Yep. Yeah. Half point PPR, a little kind of popular now. Superflex is super popular. I think a dynasty league has to be Superflex. Well, I can see why a lot of redraft leagues are still one QB, but even that'll probably catch fire soon. The way quarterbacks have kind of gone, it just might take a little while. But the norm, one quarterback PPR, so that's standard to us. So let's get it started. I will kick it off. So I should probably write this down too, so I don't forget, because we're gonna each do 6 teams, right? So
do you want me to share the spreadsheet? I'm just gonna, because I got a spreadsheet and I'm gonna write it as we go. You want me to share it or no?
No. Well, I don't need it. I'll just jot down the names as we do this.
All
here.
Right, cool. Good.
So yeah, with the first pick as of right now, I'm still taking the guy that I have ranked 1. If you go look at the one way too early 120, my 120 series here, I feel, and I'm not going to talk a lot about this because we're going to try to move a little quickly here, but you'll see as the mock goes, especially when we get to the 3rd round, and I kind of start feeling like running back gets bad. So while I have the first pick in this one, he returns to the Chargers, so he's still my number 1, and I want to get a running back off the board. So I'm going to take AustinEkeler here. 128 targets last year. Justin Herbert's still there. Kellen Moore takes over the offense, so I think the offense is going to be better, but it's not going to derail AustinEkeler's role out there. So he's still going to be a target hog running back. Probably 200 carries again. It's a good workload for a guy his size, so he's not overworked either. A lot of people are going to say, but is he going to get 68 red zone touches again under Kellen Moore? Well, I kind of did the work for us on that one, right? So in Moore's first season, Ezekiel Elliott led all running backs in the NFL in red zone touches, right? And he was tied for 3rd in red zone touches per game in 2022 and 2021, but he missed a couple games. Maybe Zeke's efficiency is what caused the Pollard-Zeke split there, as we start seeing an older Zeke like last season start taking effect. So as long as AustinEkeler is still as good as he always has been, I don't think that they're just going to take away all these red zone carries from him because he's so effective down there. So boom, AustinEkeler, my number 1 pick.
Ooh, I like that. I like that pick. I wasn't sure where you were going to go with this one, honestly. I thought you'd be between 2 guys. Obviously, I've seen your 120. I know that you got Ekeler number 1. For me,
I have 4 guys, though. I told you. So there's 4. I wouldn't be shocked if any of these guys go number 1. But
yeah, and I got a guy who's going to go number 1. The guy that I would take number 1 if I was first overall. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take him. I know the offense is loaded, and I don't care. That's why I'm going to take him. Christian McCaffrey on the San Francisco 49ers offense. I know we got Debo. I know we got Brandon Ayuk. I know Elijah Mitchell's there. I know George Kittle's there. But, dude, it's Christian fucking McCaffrey. They went out, traded what they traded for him if he wasn't going to be the featured back in that offense. Last year, he scored over 356 fantasy points. He averaged 21 points per game. He only had 2 single-digit games. He amassed 40 points in 1 monster banger-ass game. CMC is that dude. Health is no question to me. If anything, having the weapons like Debo and Elijah Mitchell around him are only going to help him stay healthy, where he doesn't have to be that bell cow, but he'll still catch his balls. He'll get his touches. Christian McCaffrey, number 2, my first overall pick in this draft.
Yep. I had him. I said I wouldn't be shocked. Like any of the 4 guys I put in the 120, you can go read the article, bloodlinenetwork.com, the 120. Yeah, I talked about it. The only reason I dinged McCaffrey to 4 in mine behind 2 red receivers was because you just said it, Elijah Mitchell. And when he was out there, he only got 10 carries in those 2 games that he was there. But you just said another thing, and this is why he still is a first-round running back to me. Like, some people are a little too afraid of that, and they're moving him out because of that whole Elijah Mitchell thing. But no. You nailed it. The receiving game usage is going to be super high for him. They're going to use him in all kinds of ways, and maybe they don't need to run him into the ground like a bell cow, and that's what you want, because you want him healthy throughout the season. So we don't need the historic season from Christian McCaffrey. We just need a top 5 season from Christian McCaffrey for running backs in fantasy football. So, yeah. He still is in my top 4 for that reason. So
because these guys are a gamble. They're a gamble. Any one of them could get injured.
Yep.
Like taking a running back is so scary in this spot. I mean, you could say taking anybody is scary, but the likelihood that a Justin Jefferson or a Jamar Chase or TravisKelce goes down is far less likely than a Jonathan Taylor or a Saquon Barkley or a CMC. And God, AustinEkeler has been healthy, so let's not fucking put that on him. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. The running back is always the risky play, but I don't like zero RB anymore. I don't even want to talk about that fad. It's ridiculous. Just get the best players you can.
You were that fad.
I know.
You were the zero RB fad. That was you.
It's just super exhausting is what it is. Like, and the hit rate is so small. Like, so you once every like 3 or 4 years or something, you nail the running backs and your team is unstoppable. But then you just struggle and you bang your head off a wall for the next 2 or 3 years trying to do it because it's not fun. So make sure you get yourself a top end running back and don't be afraid of it. Injuries happen to everyone, as you just equated to. So, and when we get to round 3, you're going to see why you want to get one of these running backs and get yourself an RB1 before it's all said and done. But pick 3, that's for me. Was pretty easy at this point. So we're going to go Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that's
3 on that one. So yeah, he's going to be a target hog again. Kirk Cousins is back. He'll probably see another 184 targets. He was first in red zone targets. Yak monster. So yeah, he's the man.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to go that route for sure, which there's 2 guys. It's crazy, the one guy, but I'm going to hope that you don't take him. There's 2 guys that I had thought about going here. But I got to go with the running back as we just discussed, and I got to go with Saquon Barkley. Listen, he's playing in an offense with Brian Dable. He had a very, very successful year last year. He put up 17.8 points a game. He was 5th overall in total points from the running back position. And at this point, you just want to bank on guys who are going to get touches. You know that Saquon's going to get touches. As a matter of fact, you know the rushing game in that offense is the offense. Dimes, Saquon, they didn't really improve at wide receiver at all. So Saquon's going to get touches in the passing game. He's going to get touches running the ball, obviously. Saquon stays healthy. He's a top 4 running back. He's a top 3 running back, maybe the number 1 running back overall. Since JJ just went, JJ was the pick I wanted. Saquon's the guy right here.
Yeah, that's not surprising at all. Picking 5th, I'm actually going to go Jamar Chase right here.
Okay.
Kind of staying true to my 120 a little bit here. Yeah, I take Chase. I guarantee Jamar Chase has not had his best season yet, and he had a target share in target. A lot of people are going to say, well, the target share could be a little iffy stat, right? Because Drake London had a huge target share, but they didn't throw the ball enough. However, when you have a 29% target share in a Joe Burrow-led offense, it's legit. So he was actually first in expected fantasy points per game at 19.3 last year. He did miss 3 games, but he was still 3rd in red zone targets. So he's targeted a lot. He's targeted in the red zone a lot. He's in a good offense. He's with Joe Burrow. I don't think we've seen the best out of Jamar Chase yet. So he is. There's 3 wide receivers I take in round 1, and he's obviously the second one. So Jamar Chase.
Yeah, love the pick, and I'm glad you took Jamar Chase because you left the guy for me who I was contemplating at pick 4. Yes, I was contemplating taking a fucking tight end at pick 4. It's just like that sometimes, right? TravisKelce is that dude. He had just 1 single-digit game last year. He put up 18.6 points per game, 316 total fantasy points. He would have been the 5th overall wide receiver last year in PPR leagues. All right. TravisKelce is that dude. So you got to look at it positionally, right? I don't expect him to put up 300 points again, but even though he's 280 plus, what he's going to do compared to the rest of the tight ends, the value there is greater. I know we want a running back here, and I know there's 1 running back here who didn't get taken. And I guess there's 2, but specifically 1 who was the number 1 overall pick in the draft last year, who now hasn't been taken over a tight end. I'm going with a tight end here due to positional value. Give me TravisKelce with this pick.
Yeah, the cheat code, right? He's the cheat code. That's what I can't hate on the pick and where you take him because I had him 9. But I don't. It's perfectly acceptable to have TravisKelce. I don't even blame people if they have him as a top 5 pick. But it's just it's a overall. I love him. But the only reason I dinged him a little bit behind some of these other guys is because I feel some of these other guys still have like the 300-point season in them, where they're like Cooper Kupp a couple years ago, like those types of seasons where you're just it's hard to beat the team that has that guy on it. So that's the only reason he gets moved down a little bit. But I just said a name. I'm not even going to take him next. But so picking 7th, if this is how the draft is going to go, I would actually go Bijan Robinson now based on this. And
that's bullshit, man. That's crazy. You're like got my fucking rankings in your head. That sucks, dude.
Yeah, I don't look. He's a rookie. We haven't seen him ever play in an NFL game before, but he has a clear path to be the number 1 player in all of fantasy football this year. He's coming from the leading team that rushes more than any other team in the NFL. A season ago, they were top 5 in rushing DVOA already without him. So he's already walking into a perfect scenario for a guy like him. Going to be a workhorse, does it all on the field in both facets of the game. So yeah, I'll take the gamble on Bijan because he does have number 1 overall player upside in him. So.
Oof, man, I want a Bijan bad at this spot. Fuck, I don't want to do this. I really don't. Like, bro, there's a wide receiver. There's a couple of wide receivers here that they have 300-point potential. 2 in particular that I really want, but man, how do you pass them up at number 8? You got AR-15 there. You got to think the offense is going to be improved. He was injury-riddled season last year. Obviously, I'm talking about Jonathan Taylor. Nothing was good about last season. The offense was disgusting. The team was disgusting. He didn't particularly play well. I don't want to draft him here, but I kind of have to.
I would. I don't think it's
I don't have a choice. I mean, if you go back to the 2021 season and look at what he did, the kid was an absolute fucking stud. He put up 370 points, 21 points per game. Again, last year, injury-riddled season. Last year, the clear consensus number 1 overall pick. I'll take him at 8. I'll risk it. Fuck it. JT, number 8.
Yeah, he banged that ankle up early, and he never looked right after that. So that was definitely a big factor. And this Jeff Saturday, Matt Ryan are both gone. The Colts are already better than they were when they ended last season.
Brutal.
And I think that's going to be a pretty good rushing attack. I think the AR-15 Jonathan Taylor led rushing attack could actually be pretty vicious in Indy. So I like it, and he's still top 5 running back to me. Next up for me, let's see. I'm actually going to take at number 9 a wide receiver. Even though I talked all about that running back stuff like that, but look, here's the thing. I'm taking Cooper Kupp at 9 here.
Wow.
And
wow. Okay.
Matthew Stafford's back. So you know one thing's going to happen. He's going to get peppered all game in targets. All game. As long as Stafford's on the field and Kupp's on the field, Kupp's getting targets. Every single look going to Cooper Kupp. It's just how that goes. In last season, he was on his way to another dominant year before injuries derailed it. He was 3rd in expected fantasy points per game. I don't see any reason why. I mean, he was well on his way to being a top 3 wide receiver again last season until he got hurt. So I don't see, as long as he stays healthy, I don't see another reason why he's not. And it wouldn't even shock me with Stafford at the helm again that Cooper Kupp finishes as wide receiver 1 again. So it's just, he's going to see the same amount of targets and target share as a Justin Jefferson does for Kirk Cousins. So.
I love it, man. I'm not surprised by how many he had. What, 2 30-point games last year before he got hurt anyway?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I mean. He was well on his way to a top 3 finish at the wide receiver position. There was. So. Yep. Now you're just getting him at a discount. He's not. You don't have to. Well, sort of. It's a first round pick, but it doesn't matter.
Pick nine instead of pick 3.
Still your first
round. Plus, people are going to forget about him. Again, this is what we tell you. We don't know ESPN's rankings yet, or where they have them. But we tell you, look at what we do on our site. Look at what Streetz does. Look where he has people ranked when you're going to go do your draft, or even listen to us. Listen to where we are drafting our guys, and then go and correlate that to ESPN's list. And yes, if you're looking at the bottom of the screen, you can see who I picked at number 10. There's a wide receiver I want. There's a couple of wide receivers I want, actually. But I'm going to go running back for one specific reason right here. When I look at the running back depth chart that's available, when I look at the wide receiver depth chart that's available, running back's a lot slighter. Yeah, a lot slighter than the wide receiver room. Like wide receiver, I'm going to pick 10 here. So I know I'm going to flip around at pick 14. I'm likely going to be able to get one of those wide receivers in comparison to one of those running backs that I wouldn't want. So number 10, I'm taking Derrick Henry right here. I know the Titans offense isn't particularly great, but last year the dude still finished with over 300 points, just under 19 points per game. And let's face it, if the Titans suck, he's going to get traded. And there's a lot of teams out there that could use a Derrick Henry. So he's got, I don't know, another 2, 3, 4 good years left in him, I think. And
4, you're being a little generous on that, probably.
All right, maybe 3 years. He's a fucking pounder. But I think he's got at least 3 good years in him, including this year. I said last year. I'll say it again. Last year, he was my number 1 running back going to last season. He had, I think he was number 6 overall or something, so it wasn't so bad. This year, I have him like 5 to 7. So give me Derrick Henry right here.
So I called it 349 carries is very hard to find out of a running back. And he's bumped up his pass game usage a little bit too the last couple seasons. So that's been a nice thing to see out of him. I called this Derrick Henry's last ride. For me is what I'm naming it, because because my issue is he's fine here in redraft. He's perfect. Still a first round pick for me, but I think it's the last year we take him in the first round in a redraft league, because I don't know what the Titans do after this year. And my only knock on him is where does he get traded to if the Titans are out of this by mid-season, and they just want to see what Spears has, and they're going to it's just turn to the rookies and see what they got and what you got.
What if he goes to a Miami or something?
It depends. That's the thing. So, but what if if A-Chain is legit and he's just in some timeshare now, or which is fine, but you just don't get the 349 carry type pace guy. But he's still a first round pick for now. So yes, I say this is for me the last ride, and so enjoy it, because maybe next year he's more second round.
And even if he's fucking getting 50-50, he's going to be the goal line back, and that's still going to hold a lot of value.
Yep. But either way, maybe he doesn't even end up leaving. Maybe he just stays in 10 the whole season. You never know. Maybe they're
Will Levis could be that guy. He could be that dude. The Titans are a team. They're a perennial playoff team every single season. Let's not look at last year as something that's regular. I know, looking at the Titans, they look like a team that can go and potentially be a team who's going to have a top 5 pick this year. But Mike Vrabel is a good coach. They got a solid defense there. So
that's their game plan. He is their offense. So,
right.
Enjoy it. All right. Next, a pick at 11. I'm actually going to take a guy who leaves possibly the most talented quarterback of all time. Heads down to South Beach. And what does he do there without arguably the most talented quarterback of all time? They didn't need each other, to be honest. They just proved that to you. But Tyreek Hill, first season in Miami, giant success. This guy had allocated 170 total targets down in Miami still. So huge part of that offense. He's going to be a huge part of that offense. Again, Tyreek Hill is just a baller. So as long as Tua stays up, Tua looking thick, maybe puts on a little extra weight out there to try to take a couple hits or two. Not really a running quarterback anyway. So keeping Tua on the field is an important factor for Miami. But as long as he's out there, I think Tyreek Hill once again is a top 5 wide receiver. So I would take him here.
I love Tyreek Hill here. I was thinking about him at 10. I was thinking about him at 8, to be honest with you. 11, great spot for him. Looking at the available list here, I am going to go wide receivers. I said there's a plethora of wide receivers here. And to me, that dude is CeeDeeLamb. He is going to be Dak's #1 target again next year. He put up over 300 points last year, 17.7 points per game. They did it at Brandon Cooks, which ultimately I think is going to help CeeDeeLamb, maybe less double teams. Dalton Schultz is gone. I love CeeDeeLamb. And who else is Dak throwing the ball to? Cooks is going to help him a little bit. Yeah, no one else. He's going to pepper CeeDeeLamb with targets. Talented as hell. Give me CeeDeeLamb with pick 12.
You're on for 2. Yeah, so.
Oh, that's right. All right, so I got the swing. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me get this down and let me look out about the swing pick here. So I got a CeeDeeLamb, and then damn, I don't want to not have a running back, but maybe we do the 0 running back thing because I think there's far more talented wide receivers here. But man, there's some good wide receivers here. Like, do I go wide receiver A or do I go wide receiver B? I think this is probably wide receivers A, 1 or 2 year. That's right. It's fuck it. I'm gonna pair 2 wide receivers up. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take. I'm not gonna do it. My bad.
I was gonna say it's if we were gonna, when we get to round 3, it'd be interesting to see where you have to go with running back.
This is just so tough right here because I love one running back in particular. He's bouncing back from an injury though. I'm leaving a guy out there. That's the problem. I really should go running back right here. Like, this is the conundrum, right? Like, I should go running back, but I'm not. I'm going to go, and I'm just going to take a guy who I think is going to be a points hog again this year. Just fucking an electric offense. Plays in the NFC East. Give me AJBrown at pick 13. Team him up, pair him up with CeeDeeLamb, go wide receiver, and let me see what happens on the flip and what running backs I can get. AJBrown put up damn near 300 points last year, 17.6 points a game. That offense is not going anywhere, consistent as it gets out there with Jalen Hurts. Give me AJBrown to pair with CeeDeeLamb.
So this is where it gets interesting, and this is where sometimes where you pivot. In from how I like, if you go read the 120, you're going to see I kind of put them in order, 1 through 24 right now. But if I pick 11 and I get Tyreek Hill, like, I should be taking somebody here. But we talked, like I had mentioned earlier, I can't stomach the running back I might get on the way back. Like, I need a shot at a top 5 running back in my eyes. That's something I want to get off the board. So this is where I might go out of my rankings just a tad. And I'm going to do so here. And I'm going to, with Tyreek Hill, I'm actually going to pair him with Breece Hall.
Yeah, that's who I was considering there. Yep. That's who I was considering, but the injury is still. Yep. Talk to us about the injury.
Yeah, the injury sucks. It was scary. And I think I'm not worried about his health coming back. That's not the worry. We've seen guys many times now with similar injuries come back and they bounce back and they're usually just fine. My worry with Breece Hall, though, and that injury is did they ease him back slowly? Do they not give him some hefty workload early or at all during the season? Because that's a waste of a pick at the spot that we're taking him here. Right. So, like, right now, though, the early reports are, and I've seen some videos, he looks good. He's moving well. He's going to be ready for week 1, the whole 9 yards, and it's going to be a good offense with it's going to be a game manager offense, but it's still a good offense with Aaron Rodgers game managing it and a good defense. And I think they're going to run a lot. And I think Breece Hall is going to get tons of work in it. And so I like the overall player. So I'm going to take Breece Hall here. There's no doubt we don't have a whole lot of stats to work off either because he only played a few games. But good Lord, the games that he played, he was electric. So that's what,
in both the running and the passing game. He looked great, dude.
so
Great.
like I should have probably taken the guy that I had ranked higher than him here and just paired like you just did with 2 wide receivers. But I'd rather take the swing at one of these running backs and pair him with Hill. So
Listen, I should have probably taken a guy who I'm not going to take at this pick right here at 13. And then I probably should have taken the guy who I'm going to take right here. And then maybe AJBrown in a couple of picks. But I just like the allure and the sexiness of pairing CeeDeeLamb with AJBrown. But right here, listen. I understand that maybe has no quarterback. He might have no quarterback. But at this point, it doesn't really matter, man. I'm going to go with the all-old team. I got Derrick Henry already. We talked about that, so I'm going to need to pair him with a wide receiver. I could go running back right here and like really flip some shit up because there's some really quality running backs left at this point. But I'm going to go wide. I'm going to go running back, wide receiver, go a little traditional route. I'm going to take Davante Adams. Listen, in the fantasy playoffs last year, he had nobody throwing him the football, and he still managed to put up a 34-point game. I know. It was last year. We got a hobbled Jimmy Garoppolo coming out. Maybe Tom Brady's coming out of retirement to throw him the football. Maybe Streetz is going to lace it up, throw the pads on, and go out there and throw him the football. But it doesn't fucking matter because as long as you can fucking put the football in that guy's jurisdiction, he is going to come down with it. And quite frankly, he should have been picked in the first round if he had a quarterback. But the quarterback thing is looming over us, which is why he slipped this far. So Davante Adams, giving me, pair him up with Derrick Henry, and I'm feeling fucking good about the start of my team.
yeah, see, you nailed it because I don't know what's going to happen. Brady, he would move him up. I'm moving Davante Adams up if Brady ends up back, unretiring for a second time as like some crazy co-owner / quarterback. Like I own the team and I'm going to play quarterback for the team type thing, which would be fun. But yeah, he'd move back up the draft boards. But for now, even if Jimmy G stays there, I don't know. I have him at 19 overall.
Okay.
I have I have 2 more wide receivers ahead of him still that are left on the board. But we're going to get to that in a sec. But that's the ding on him to me. Is what are we doing here? Third quarterback now. This guy's got to play with in the third year. I don't know what happens if they suck. Like they don't.
It's going to get traded, and his value is going to go up.
Yeah, but that's what we hope. Like
he's a guy who doesn't need a system. He's a guy that you plug in, go fucking run your route, put the ball up there, and he's going to go get it. Aaron Rodgers' MVP success fucking was because of Davante Adams. Let's be honest here. Everything like that made that man successful in the past few years was Davante Adams. You saw the fall off last year. Who still shined last year? No, I'm not arguing, but I'm just saying like who still shined last year?
Oh, that's what keeps him in keeps him in this range. So
right. No, I feel what you're saying. I mean, 19 is not a bad number by any means. I'm just saying if Jimmy G is just okay, Davante is going to be just fine.
At 9, man, there's good value coming for somebody here that's kind of ridiculous. But
yes,
I don't know how one guy's falling. It just sucks because I can't. So I picked Cooper Kupp at 9, and I want to make sure I get one of these running backs. So I'm actually he's getting dinged to me only because he still hasn't signed a franchise tag yet, and if he signs the franchise tag, he might move up a few spots. He could inch into the first round caliber type player for me because I know it's scary to a lot of people because you only seen him happen once, but I don't see why if Josh Jacobs doesn't sign a tag or they work out some deal with him, I don't see him sitting a season. I don't. It backfired poorly for the last guy who tried doing this, so I don't see that happening. I just don't know what's going to happen yet. But I do think it's his last season, likely in Vegas. And if that's the case, they're going to run him into the ground again. He was a true workhorse running back last year. He was 3rd in snap share, 2nd in carries, 11th in targets. He did it all. So 3 down back. It equated to a top 10 finish in all major rushing statistics. So Josh Jacobs, I feel like if he returns to this, if they do get a Brady again, or even with Jimmy G, Josh Jacobs could still be pretty decent because of the workload that he's going to get. But I just think that they're probably due to be due to run him into the ground again. And that's kind of what I feel. Poor guy, that he ain't getting awarded with a big contract. So they're just going to award him with the franchise tag, hopefully get him to sign it and pay him 18, whatever, a bunch of money for one season and say, all right, now we're going to run you into the ground. Probably wear everything you got left. But here you go.
That's fair. And he probably should have been a higher pick based on last year. Dude was an absolute flat out stud last year. And I'm going to go.
He's a second round pick right now. So it's like the risk of it's not like a Jonathan Taylor last season or something. Like you're getting him in the second round. And I have a feeling he might stay in the second round. And if the ADP, like you said earlier, don't use our rankings in your draft. So like if you see Josh Jacobs going in the second round of all these drafts, then don't reach for him in the first. Plan your draft accordingly. Like, oh, I'm going to get a first round talent in Josh Jacobs, but I'm going to be able to get him in that turn. If I'm picking like 12 for 11, something like that, you can get him and pair him with an elite wide receiver. So it's kind of nice. So you get a little of the risk taken out of that.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, this pick, I'm not particularly keen on the guy. It is the least sexy pick that you're gonna have. But just like Josh Jacobs, at some point this guy's got to go. And the offense is going to be much better this year. You got to think with Deshaun Watson. So here I'm gonna pair him with Jonathan Taylor. So I mean, just think, JT sucks or whatever. God forbid happens, injury, Colts offensive line sucks. Then I'm going to back up Jonathan Taylor with this stud running back, Nick Chubb, right here. So I have potential to have two number one running backs, or God forbid JT falls off, I got Nick Chubb right there. Or fuck, if Nick Chubb's not there, he sucks, then I got JT man in that running back spot. So I'm making sure I'm okay at the running back position. I'm going to pair Nick Chubb with JT. And listen, Nick Chubb had a fine year last year. He still put up over 280 points. He put up over 16.5 points per game. He's got Deshaun Watson at quarterback, who's going to be firmly acclimated into his offense now, and he's going to rely on Nick Chubb. So I like Nick Chubb here to pair with JT.
Yeah, he gets no respect ever, and it's due to the fact he just doesn't get any passing game work. Maybe we can hope that last game of last season where he had the 6 targets is something that we see. There's no Hunt. So I don't know if Ford is going to be a threat to take certain things away from Chubb. I doubt it. We just hope Nick Chubb gets more targets. Like I said in the 120, could it be the year Nick Chubb catches 40 balls? Maybe. Who knows? I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'd take 28, 30 catches this season if the offense is a little bit better. And that would be tremendous for a Nick Chubb, who's still going to be a top 10 running back in points per game. So yeah. And it's when you do one QB leagues like this and you build it with 2 top 10 running backs, that's an easy way to be successful and make the playoffs. It really is. So I don't mind doing the bully running back build in a league like this. So yeah. So now team 7 again on the clock. I took Bijan with that pick. This is actually perfect. It almost worked out perfectly for team 7. Like you take the risky rookie with the huge ceiling at pick 7. And you're sitting there. And this guy comes all the way back down to you in the next round. And he's almost perfect. Like he doesn't get the same like allure maybe of the chase of a Jefferson, of a Cup, of a Hill. However, this guy was still top 5 in every single wide receiver statistic a season ago, and he has 0 to little threat still. As in target threats, I don't think Dalton Kincaid's going to do anything this season. Dawson Knox, we know what he is. Gabe Davis is a wide receiver too there. Like maybe Hopkins goes there. We don't know that yet. Either way, right now, Stephon Diggs probably on pace to be top 5 in every category again with Josh Allen during football. So it's perfect. It's almost like the safe pick to pair with Bijan Robinson. So the high ceiling risky pick with one of the safest wide receiver picks that you can get. So it's nice. So that's Stephon Diggs who I'm taking.
Oh, that sucks, man. Because right here, I mean, first of all, it's a great pick. But BPA, no doubt. It sucks for me because for team 6, I'm sitting with TravisKelce. So this is where
This is where when you go that tight end now, you have to start thinking like, ooh, what am I doing?
So Wallace, Kelce is giving me that greater than over the rest of the field. I'm probably going to go ahead and just take Mark Andrews here. So I have trade bait. So I'm going to take Kelce and Ant. Oh, I'm just fucking kidding. No, what you want to do here is like BPA. And that's tough. There's a lot of quality players here. And you also have to take into effect the running back versus wide receiver ratio. Now, looking at the running backs on the board again, they're a lot more limited than the wide receivers on the board. So theoretically speaking, I probably should take a running back right here rather than a wide receiver. I don't particularly want to. There is one running back who's available that I don't trust at all, but he had a pretty damn decent year last year. And there's a wide receiver on the board that I really, really want as well. It's just tough, especially when you're looking at the running back position just being so damn fucking slight. I know. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take a guy that I trust, actually, over a guy that I don't trust. I'm going to take Tony Pollard right here. Crazy pick. I know there's maybe one running back better, but I'm going to take Tony Pollard because I need a running back right here. I'm going to hope that there's a quality wide receiver coming back on that other side. He put up 248 points a game last year, 15.6 points a game last year. He will be the feature back in that offense this year. Give me Tony Pollard right here.
Yeah, so look, Tony Pollard, explosive as anyone at the running back position a season ago. He had 10 games that he saw 50% snap share or more. And in those games, he scored over 12 fantasy points 8 times. So he was 8th in fantasy points per game. That's overall. That's not just those 10 games. The whole season, he was 8th in fantasy points per game. And that's splitting time with Zeke, like I just mentioned, for most of the season. So with little added to that running back room, like Deuce Vaughn's pretty small. I don't think it's not gonna be a 50-50 there. So I don't know who they bring. Does Zeke come back? Who knows? But either way, Pollard's set up to be a pretty nice RB1. And we just talked about it. You don't need your, like, it's nice if your running back touches the football 350 times a season, but when they're that explosive with it, like an AustinEkeler or a CMC, you don't need them to just have all those. So like, as long as he's 60% of the snaps that he's seeing out there, perfect for him. So I dig into that one. All right, team 5 now back on the clock, where I took Jamar Chase last time. And I'm
intrigued where you go here before you make your pick, because I've heard you talk highly of a certain running back, and I know you love a certain wide receiver. So I'm curious to see if you go that wide receiver route, or if you feel the urge to snag that running back because there's really only one, maybe two quality running back left.
Yeah. So this is where it is interesting, and I'm glad you kind of brought it up, because there is no bona fide, like, we're getting into like the 10th, 11th running backs that are available on the board. And like, I know for a fact Josh Jacobs' workload is going to be good. Nick Chubb, Breece Hall. I like all these guys. Derrick Henry. Those are the ones that I'm going to try to get. If I pick here and I take a Jamar Chase, it definitely makes it more interesting, because the one guy I know you're talking, the one running back that's there, obviously, is Ramondre.
Who I said I just didn't feel comfortable with taking, because I think he only had like 14 points a game last year still. So I know he was splitting a little bit with Damian, but he's gone now. Keep going, baby. It's you. It's all you.
So this is where I might play the rank game and see what happens. Like, I'm going to take the best player available, and I'm going to see what I get on the next turn. So in this situation, now that I have the rest of these running backs gone, I'm actually going to pair.
You son of a bitch. Just do it. You know what you want to do. Just do it. No. Just do it.
Here's the thing. I'm torn, because if I don't know who's going to make it back on the next turn. So like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picks until it gets back to me.
Let me just write it for you.
What's up?
You want me just to write it for you? All right.
No.
I'm just kidding.
It's like a.
Just kidding. I was doing the same thing with the last week because I was contemplating the guy you're contemplating and Pollard. Well, with Stevenson looming, but I just don't want to go that route. Even though I think Stevenson could be an 18-point per game running back. I really do. I think he's got top 5 back potential. I just think that offense fucking sucks, and that's why I want to avoid him.
Yeah. I might change my mind on this one as we go. Now, as the season gets closer, I got to see how that third round shakes out. Like the 120 round 3 will be out soon, but I need to see how.
You want to do the third round?
No.
Should we just spin it?
No, it's okay. It's not so much what we're gonna do. It's so much I want to see how everything else kind of shakes. Like if I think I can get where does Dalvin Cook land? What happens to Joe Mixon? There's a few what ifs, right? I still have to worry. Like Joe Mixon, if I know he's gonna make nothing like get in trouble for anything, I don't know, from that whole weird offseason that he had. Like if he's gonna start week 1 in Cincinnati, he was an RB1 last year. That's right now being valued kind of like in the third-ish round. So
he's Joe fucking Mixon, bro.
I know. So
the fucking Bengals offense, yeah.
So that's why I think when we get to these running backs that I kind of have paired here at the end of this round, it's going to shake down to what the third round running backs I kind of like are. So that's only these 3 running backs still. So that's why I'm going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I'm just going to fully wide receiver this one with Jamar Chase right now. And I'm going to hope to have 2 top 5 wide receivers on this team this season. So yeah. And we'll see how it shakes out. Like I really don't I want to get a running back, but I think in 8 picks, I'm going to have at least one of the guys I've mentioned possibly still available, or one of the guys I have ranked here. Like Travis Etienne is getting a lot of hate, and he might start moving down the draft board because people are scared of taking him. Tank Bigsby all of a sudden is like some fantasy monster, and hasn't played. Like I get it. I get Doug Peterson wants to do the 2 running back. We'll talk about him in a sec, but Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going on a tangent.
Go ahead, bro. Tangent it up, dude.
Yeah, so Amon-Ra and Chase. That's what we'll start. And we'll see where this team goes, actually. This will be fun. We'll kind of see where Team 5 shakes out with two bona fide wide receivers.
Man, I love the start. I love the start. I just went running back, use wide receiver. This team, I'm curious, man. I got team 4. I got Saquon. I got 2 options. I'm sitting at Ramondre because I'm thinking Ramondre is either going to be an 18-point per game running back, or I think what we saw last year might be his floor, which was 14.5 points per game. I mean, if you get a 14.5 point per game running back, you're solid, even if he falls to 12 points per game. But there's nobody in that running back room to compete with him. I really, really would like to put him with Saquon and just double it up. Because, again, there are so many wide receivers available. And actually, you know what? Fuck it. There's a guy. I want this guy. He's better. Like, on my overall rankings, I got a guy. But it's like, again, this will be the 3rd time I've explained it. Who's at the running back spot compared to who's at the wide receiver spot? For this team, team 4, I'm going to grab a running back. When it flips, I'm looking at the wide receiver board. I'm going to get a solid wide receiver. And whilst it might not be this young stud who could be a top 5 wide receiver, I'm going to go ahead and take Ramondre, and I'm going to go bully running back and pair him with Saquon.
Which is fine. I think as we get to the end of round 2, this is where it gets interesting. Because I know the wide receiver you're referring to, but I think there's you just said, I think there's going to be really good 3rd round wide receivers this season. And if they go in the 2nd round, it pushes back some of the running backs into the 3rd round. So the end of the 2nd's where I have a little bit more flexibility than I kind of see in the 1st or early 2nd, where I still would want to grab a Breece Hall, Jacobs, or Chubb, 3 who I believe are workhorses. Because I know you're not. Depends on what young wide receiver you're talking about.
You know who the fuck I'm talking about. I guess there's a couple.
That's
one. Well, there's like 4. Well, 3, but there's one in particular I think that we're both talking about. I mean, he won A, he won B. I mean,
yep. So there's Waddle, but yeah.
Right.
That makes sense. So,
Right.
but like guys like Wilson though, they're going to
Who
be
is the other?
yeah.
Correct. Right. And then there was a third.
But you take Ramondre, who I like, who metrics are off the board for him. They were really good. The only thing he has to get better at is his goal line carries. He was awful at that last year. So he needs to improve there when they give it to him the ball down at the goal line. So his touchdowns do go up. But he's going to get a nice chunk of the rushing and to be a top 5 running back in receptions. So I like it. And then you pass on Waddle here, and then you probably get you could still get a top 12 wide receiver on the next turn here because you're picking at the end of the second round. So
that was my exact thought process.
Yep. So now team 3, I took Justin Jefferson. And this is where it gets now this is tricky. So I have a guy that I'm comfortable with being top 3 in overall fantasy scoring outside of the quarterbacks. He could even match some of the top scoring quarterbacks. So when I have such an explosive guy like that, there's room for a little wiggle room here. So I'm actually, let's do it. This one, I hate this. So this one's going to get a lot of.
Are you doing it? Are you doing it?
No.
Oh.
No.
I thought you were going to go in with an obscure position.
Nope.
Not the quarterback position.
No, not yet. I'm not going to do that just yet. Like, I'd want to get. If there was Amon-Ra's on the board still when I'm picking there, I'm taking Amon-Ra over this guy. There's no doubt about it. I would not take Waddle, not yet. And the only reason behind that is that you just nailed it. Like, Waddle was awesome. I just don't think there's any clear path to a top 5 finish.
I didn't think you were taking Waddle right here.
Oh yeah, no,
I thought you were taking. Yeah, that's fucking what I said.
I'm not taking him though.
All right, yeah. Yeah, okay, all right.
No,
I thought you might be going in an obscure position because you can get who you want on the flip side and lock that tight end spot in.
Yeah, it's just I love the tight end that you're referring to, but I do like some other tight ends that are a little bit behind him also. So if I miss out on him, I do think he's still 2, but there's still a couple guys I like, so I wouldn't do that. This is the one I'm just going to get flack about, and because everybody's going to bring up Tank Bigsby, and they're going to start railing me into the ground about it, like, is he going to get the workload? Is he going to see the goal line carries? There's a lot of worry about Travis Etienne Jr., and I get it. He only had a 7.8% target share last year, and they went and added Calvin Ridley. So, like, now they have more wide receivers to throw the football to, what makes you think they're going to throw him the football a little bit more, but you never know. Like, as he gets acclimated to the offense, they change things around a little bit. Trevor Lawrence gets more comfortable with them. You just don't know. He's a super talented guy. So sometimes when the overall touches go down, still efficiency can go up. So I still think he's still a back-end RB1 for me. So I'm going to take ETN to pair with
JJ.
Yep, because it's, like I said, it lowers the risk a little bit because I do have the monster there. So now I can take him. And then I can come back around. Like, I love Waddle, but like you just said, if whoever picks 2 and 1 might take a Waddle and Andrews or another running back, and it still leaves me with like a Wilson or Olave or something like that now that I can go
Devontae Smith, T. Higgins.
Yep.
There's wide receivers out there.
Correct.
Fuck, the 4th time I've said it now. That's why you gotta pick. The running back room is so light compared to that wide receiver room.
This pick
coming here on this flip right here.
This pick, there's a good chance that this changes. So ETN kind of for now because it's a little bit safer. Najee hangs around here, but he's just not, like he's not the home run guy that I like. Like ETN last year after week 5 was posted 10 weeks of RB2 or better. 6 of those 10 weeks he was an RB1. So like you could see it when he touches the ball. He's very talented back, but not the guy I'm talking about. The guy that I'm referring to, I mentioned earlier. Joe Mixon can creep his way into this range for me if I just know he's going to play again because like he's still put up a pretty good year last year. I know the efficiency kind of faded off a little bit on Joe Mixon's last season. It was his worst in a few years, but They didn't got nobody else there. So like Chase Brown, no thanks. I just need to know Joe Mixon. No offense to him, I'm just saying, like, I know Joe Mixon's going to see a ton of work, and I just need to know Joe Mixon's going to be there week 1. And it's a little bit of mystery what's going on there. As of now, I guess he's going to be. So Mixon could creep his way up, but for now, ETN's the pick. It's early. It's June 2nd. So
I love ETN. I loved him in college. I loved him coming out. I don't care about the injury. Put the ball in that kid's hands, and that kid's going to do work. Just like my pick right here. And listen, I just went and I just fucking scoured the board. I looked over it hard because, again, you got Jalen Waddle on the board. You got Devonta Smith on the board. You got T. Higgins on the board. You got Garrett Wilson on the board. You got Chris Olave on the board. So, hypothetically speaking here, if I liked any of these running backs available, I would have went with one of these running backs available. But I'm just not taking like an Aaron Jones or a Kenneth Walker right here. I'm going to take a guy. I'm going to take one of these wide receivers. At this point, you got to pull the trigger. You could go with a Mark Andrews, but like Street said, Hawkinson, Kittle, Goddard. These are good quality options, just a little bit behind him. Obviously, Kittle, Goddard, there's levels and tiers there, but these are quality options behind him. I'm going with Jalen Waddle. Put the ball in the fucking kid's hand. He can fly for 30 any game. 5-yard slant, take it for 80. Give the ball to Jalen Waddle. Last year, he put up 260 points, 15 points per game. And again, he's playing opposite Tyreek Hill with no quarterback half the year. Put the ball in the kid's fucking hands and let him fly. If you're drafting, though, I'll say it one last time, right here in this spot, and one of these running backs who we took already are available, snag him. And then take whatever wide receivers available on the flip side. Because people in your draft are going to take one of these wide receivers. They're going to take Waddle. They're going to take Wilson before one of these running backs. And whether it's Pollard, whether it's Chubb, whether it's Stevenson, they will drop. So if you have this pick here, take the back and take a receiver on the flip side. I cannot stress it enough.
The backs won't be there with us. That's the only difference.
Well, we're different.
Obviously, I know.
Well,
so,
just talk about
yeah. So, Waddle, I know.
People wouldn't have talking here if we were talking to us. I'm just
perfect. So this is the scenario that how I scripted it. Basically, it might not work out this way in many of them, but I put him here for this reason. And I'm not going to spoil anything. You're going to have to watch the next show. So we're coming to the end of an hour here.
So I don't want to watch the next show.
No, you're going to have to watch the next show.
Well, I'll be on it, but I want to be spoiled. I want to fucking hear it.
I'll tell you the third round pick afterwards. But when I'm picking right here, right? So this means I took AustinEkeler with my first pick, and now I get 2 picks. So this is why I have this guy ranked 24 for me, because now I'm going to get one of those wide receivers too, but I'm going to take Mark Andrews at this pick right here. So I get Mark Andrews, and now I get to come back with a wide receiver. I'm not going to tell you who yet. You're going to have to wait to watch the next show there. But I would get AustinEkeler, Mark Andrews, and then one of these wide receivers to start my draft, and I would be feeling fantastic. See, don't let the number 1 pick scare you. Scares a lot of people. Right now, if I had the number 1 pick and I just walked out of here with the mystery wide receiver we'll talk about at the next episode, AustinEkeler, Mark Andrews, I'd be dancing.
Spoiler alert, it's Garrett Wilson.
But you have to tune in and find out. But that's what I would say, because now it's it's almost like taking the wide receiver first, and you still get Mark Andrews on the turn, so it doesn't really make a difference. But Mark Andrews for me right there. So boom, that's how I would end that second round.
Yo, and let's rip these teams, dude. So you got it on the ticker. You've had it on the ticker the whole time. Let's run through the squads. Team 1, Streetz has AustinEkeler and Mark Andrews. Team 2, TK's got CMC and Jalen Waddle. Team 3, Justin Jefferson and Travis Etienne. Team 4, Saquon Barkley and TK's got Saquon Barkley and Ramondre Stevenson. Team 5, Streetz got Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Team 6, TK's got TravisKelce and Tony Pollard. Team 7, Streetz went with the rookie, Bijan Robinson, Stephon Diggs. Team 8, TK went running back, JT and Nick Chubb. Team 9, Streetz going with the risk, Cooper Kupp and Josh Jacobs. Team 10, TK going with the oldies, Derrick Henry and Devontae Adams. Team 11, Streetz going with the flyer Tyreek Hill and Breece Hall. And Team 12, TK going with the NFC East wide receiver CeeDeeLamb and AJBrown. It's good stuff, bro.
Yeah. See, so most of those teams sound okay. I mean, they all look pretty good to me. So there's not a whole lot of I don't hate any of them. That's the
who got drafted a little too early. AJBrown went a little too early, probably at 13.
For me, no, not really. I mean, I have him 17, so it's not like it's only a few picks off. Who would I have taken ahead of? It looks like you just put Lamb and Brown ahead of the running backs. That's all. I just have Hall, Jacobs, and Chubb because they round out the rest of my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So those are the last of my top 10 running backs in a sense. So I just that's all.
And it's probably wide receiver. So that actually makes me feel better because I feel like I'm going to get the guaranteed points and those guys are going to stay healthy.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to have a running back on the flip. It's going to be very ugly. So it's likely I'm going to trade AJBrown or CeeDeeLamb come week 1 or week 2. So
not quite. I mean, there's a couple running backs in round 3, and that's we got to see how it shakes out though. Mixon.
Is that the Joe Mixon, Delvin Cook, Alvin Kamara territory?
Aaron Jones, not Alvin Kamara.
Aaron Jones ain't going to be there by the time I'm picking with what did I have that? What was the team I'm looking at? Pick 12. Aaron Jones is going to be gone soon. Well, we can't spoil it. I'll be picking Aaron Jones soon.
Yeah, no. Well, where I would rank Aaron Jones is going to be in the 3rd round. I don't know if he'd be there for all your drafts. No, but yes.
Not pick 36. I mean, he'll be there pick probably 28, 30.
Yeah, the next running backs, if based on my rankings, the next one that I would take anyways, the first running back in round 3 that I would take, I'm not saying I'm taking him with that next pick. You'll have to watch that show. I'm not taking a running back with the Ekeler Andrews team there. But my next running back off my board is actually Aaron Jones. So he would be the first back I take in that round. Mixon would work his way up if I know he's going to play and probably he could, like I said, bump his way into the ETN thing. So then ETN moves more to 13. Mixon goes to 12. But I put Mixon at 21 only for just now. I mean, we got a long way to go. So he'd probably be the guy that moves up for me in the running back rankings. But once I find out what's going on there, I don't know. That's a whole
Aaron Jones is 2 next in my running back rankings, which is why I said there is no way in fucking hell he's getting to 12 because if you don't pick him, I'm picking him.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be an integral part of that passing game next year.
Because then you got a couple RB2s, but all they are RB2s. There's not a lot of upside to them. Maybe Najee has a better year than he's had, but he's still just an RB2 to me that gets a heavy workload. And Jahmyr Gibbs would come up next there. So, and Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be, like I said, he's not going to be a bell cow. He's going to get a lot of receiving work, but David Montgomery's there. So he's an RB2 and he's capped. Kenneth Walker, same thing. Delvin Cook is the guy that's a mystery. I'm not sure what's going on with him either. So, these are all guys. And then Damian Pierce and Cam Akers round out the rest of that 3rd round for me. So when it comes to running backs, I like Pierce. I love they invested in the offensive line. And he's a guy that can move up for me also as we get going here. So there are a couple running backs left. I'm just not sure. I'm sure they're just capped in certain ways to me. So that's kind of all.
Yeah. That's
what it boils down to. Stevenson, Pollard, those guys could be a top 5 running back. I'm positive. They just have the talent for it when you watch them play. So
nobody thought Josh Jacobs was going to be a top 5 running back last year. The running back position is a fucking tricky position.
Yep. But he got all the work. So if you get all the work like that and you're efficient with it like he was, then yeah, that's where.
Which is why Pollard and Stevenson have a high chance to be a top 5 running back. Because I'm looking at Dallas, I see nothing. I'm looking at New England, I see nothing. They're going to get the workload.
Yep. Either way, there you go. So there is some 3rd round running backs that I like. So we'll see. It's good. We got a long way to go before we get to. And I'm sure if I hate some of the starts that I make, this is how I'll adjust my rankings to try to match to make sure that I like my starts. But this is kind of where we're sitting for now. So, but I'm pretty comfortable with it. The third, I can tell you this: the rest of these running backs, like Jones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, probably half them are probably going to be in the third round. I'll probably add in 3 wide receivers. There might only be 3 wide receivers in my third round. It might actually be like 9 running backs in round 3 for me, and then that's it. After that, though, running backs toast. So enjoy it. It kind of is. Like, you better. I'd feel much better getting 2 of these guys.
I got at least 4 wide receivers in this round without looking at anything. So I'm curious to see where you're going to go, and you can catch up next time for sure.
But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. You want to, it's not live, but you want to tell these guys, they know where to find you, but you want to tell them?
Yeah, man.
Everywhere. You're all over everything. You are on every show. This guy doesn't sleep, people. Never.
I'm not on every show. Yo, the Bloodline's doing what we do, man. As it says right there, you can follow it at the Bloodline ENT. Please like this video. My man Streetz does his thing, like I said earlier, whether it's right here on video or writing on BloodlineNetwork.com. But like this video, please. Streetz is killing it every Mondays with big Texas. Check it out, doing Roto Slappers baseball. Streetz and myself doing Roto Slappers football every other Saturday, soon to be like 9 times a week. So catch that when we catch that. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and put Bloodline Entertainment Network into your Google search bar, and you can listen to us. You can listen to that soothing voice on Spreaker, on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Music, and every other major audio platform. And like I said, when you search it, you go to BloodlineNetwork.com. Sports, wrestling, entertainment, all our videos, all our audio, everything we do in one place. And all the Streetz writing, all of his rankings, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tiers, dynasty, everything this man does in one place. BloodlineNetwork.com. For me, your boy at the Tim King Show, just on Twitter. This is the only place I'm going to talk to you. And, of course, the Bloodline.
That's the hardest working man out there right there. So that's why I say that. And once again, thank you for highlighting all that work and putting all the time in to get that work on that website. I greatly appreciate it. I am Streetz. He told you already. Go to the website, BloodlineNetwork.com. You can check everything out. Movies, got it. Wrestling, got it. Sports, got it. Drafts, got it. Good Lord, fantasy sports, got it. Video games, got it. Everything. It's all there. And we'll check you next time. We're going to do rounds 3 and 4, and we'll probably do a couple other of these mocks, but make sure you tune in to the next Roto Slappers as we do 3 and 4, and we'll see you all next time. Later.
I've got something for you.